Quick question for you.
Yeah.
It's not your first time playing in Nelson. Every time you're putting your skates on that ice, when you're touching the puck, the fans will be booing.
No,
No?
I was cheer for me here.
It's going to be still number 63, but probably a different reaction. What's the feeling for you for the first time when you transfer?
I don't think they'll be cheering for me. I think they'll cheer for the team. No, I think that's one of the greatest things about playing for Team Canada is you see how united the entire country gets. Anytime you put on the jersey, everyone's cheering and hoping to accomplish the same goal. Fans and players and management and families. So, for that little bit of time, everyone's on the same page and definitely be a different experience, but definitely one I'm looking forward to.
How can you see it? If you have 20,000 friends who are booing for you, do you see it as a sign that you're a good NHL player?
Yeah, I do. I've always looked at it as I'm not gonna say that, but I've always looked at it. It's like it's more of a sign of respect, and I don't get too caught up in that. I'd probably boo me if I was a fan as well. So I get it, but I play the game a certain way. It's gotten me that far, so it's going to change just for fans' opinions.
Just curious, what's the highest level of hockey, like level of play you've ever experienced?
To date was definitely the World Cup. I mean, it doesn't get higher than the Olympics and the World Cup and this tournament. I think that's why guys have always wanted to be part of those Olympics. And why it was so disappointing that we didn't make the last couple. I think it's the highest achievement you can personally accomplish as a hockey player. Stanley Cups those are built for teams. That's different, but the highest level of hockey that you can reach is the Olympics and now the World Cup and these events. So everybody wants to see it. Every player wants to be part of it. When you step on the ice and practice even. Seeing the talent level that's out there, it's incredible. The way they can elevate to a different pace, and just by being out there with those guys, the speed elevates to a level that you're not used to. So it's special. It goes by quick, but you try to hold on every moment.
In 2016, you had the deciding goal for Canada. You were playing at such an elite level there. Is there anything emotionally, psychologically you could take from the last time you're on this type of stage that'll help you this time around?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you go through a past experience, you always try to draw from it. It's never the same, but it allows you to feel comfortable in different moments. One of my biggest things is just coming into the room, how much more comfortable I feel. Maybe it's because I'm older. I remember the last tournament, though, I just sat there and I was watching everybody like, what am I doing here? I was trying to take it, didn't want to talk to anyone, didn't talk to me first. Didn't want to step on the line, so yeah, definitely the comfortability level. Knowing other guys around that were on that team or whatever that you meet across all-star game and stuff. But then the biggest thing I think is the way that the pace rises in the games, and that's stuff that you feel when you get out there, but just it's coming. So it doesn't mean that anything's be dictated a certain way. It's just good to kind of have an idea where it's going to go.
How do you get that instant chemistry? Because that's really key, right? There's not a lot of margin for error here. How do you get that?
I mean, it's one thing, you're playing with the best players in the world, so guys instinctively have great reactions and know how to read the game really well. They all make plays, so that makes it easier for sure. And you just try to talk out as much as you can. Try to feel out where guys like to be and where they like to play, but it's definitely learn on the fly.
If we try to draw some meaning to this tournament, what would you say is at stake for Canada?
To be honest, I don't really think about that. I'm not going to get wrapped up in that. We know that every time you put a Canadian jersey on, you're expected to win. There's no question about that, but our job here and all we want to accomplish is come and try to be at the top of our game, try to play as best we can, and hope it goes our way. But obviously, every team expects to win and wants to win. But there's 4 teams, and you could do a coin flip on any of these games, and the team could win that. That's how tight the margins are going to be, and how great all 4 teams are. So it's going to be an exciting tournament for sure.
Brad, if you look at everything, if you remove everything that Sid's done on the ice and his resume and all that, like what makes Sid as a guy? Nothing to really place on.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when you meet him is just how humble he is. He's one of the greatest players to ever play the game of hockey, and you would never know that if you met him outside. You didn't know what he did. He's very personable. You watch him walk around a room. He takes the time to talk and communicate with everybody. He's always laughing and joking around. He's not arrogant. He's not trying to control the room. He's just very personable. He's not dressed in the flashiest stuff and driving the flashiest cars, anything like that. So he's just very humble. Never forget where he comes from. I went to his house one night for dinner, and he's got a wooden rocking chair that was built from Halifax, and that's what he sits in every day. And he's just a very down-to-earth guy, which at his level and the things that he's accomplished doesn't happen often. So tremendous amount of respect for him.
What would it be like to face some Boston teammates here? Like, tough to go as hard as you usually do against, or like, what's that dynamic like for you?
It'll be different. I don't like playing against guys that I know and have relationships with because it's hard to play harder on them. But I mean, when you put that jersey on for Canada, there are no friends on the ice, and they will feel the exact same way. I can put any amount of money on it that if Chucky gets a chance to run me, he's going to run me. So that's part of playing for your country. You do whatever it takes, sacrifice whatever you have to win. We'll be doing that. They'll be doing that, and then that's part of what makes this tournament so hard to win, or these tournaments so hard to win, and why the pace elevates so high. Guys are willing to leave it all out there.
Brad, Canada's pride is being kind of tested right now with like geopolitical situations. So how big of a tournament is this, given all that context that's happening?
Politically?
Yeah, like the Canadian pride is kind of being tested at this point. You're seeing people kind of rallying behind the flag a lot more than they have in recent years.
I just think that Canada's always been a proud country. Hockey-wise, it's something we take a tremendous amount of pride in, and Canada's always been at the top of the game. Obviously teams and countries are catching up in that area, and the development programs across each country are through the roof right now. So everybody's very excited about it. Everybody wants to something to rally behind. But anytime you put that jersey on, everyone's cheering for you. You know that. So there's a lot of pressure that comes with it, but definitely pressure that we enjoy having.
What message might you have to fans who might consider booing anthems at this event?
For me, anthems are to pay respect for the veterans that gave their lives so that we had freedom. So I think that people should respect anthems at all times. Otherwise, you're disrespecting millions and millions and millions of people that literally gave up everything so that we could have our freedom. I don't think that's appropriate, but everyone's free to do their own thing. He's an incredible goalie. He competes at the highest level, and he's a gamer. I think that's the biggest thing that I take away from playing against him. He's a gamer, and he showed up in the big moments. So those are the guys that you want on your side.
What can you say about Team Sweden? You will meet tomorrow.
Yeah, they're great. They're very deep. Tremendous amount of talent on their team. They're deep all the way through the lineup. Some of the best defensemen, and forwards in the league. So it's going to be an extremely tough game. We're excited to get going.
They have a goalie you know very well.
Yeah, who's that? No, I love Uli. Unbelievable goaltender. Unbelievable teammate and guy. And obviously one of the best in the world in his position. So, they're lucky to have him.
Brad, you've played a lot of series against the Leafs, against the Panthers, against the Lightning. How tough is it, or is it difficult to put those aside, those rivals aside?
It's very easy. It's very easy to let bygones be gone. It has no impact. Doesn't dictate anything that happens in this tournament. It's such an honor to be in that room to be part of that team that everybody puts aside personal agendas or history with guys, and you're just fighting for the same goal, and you'll do whatever it takes and build whatever relationships you have to help your team just have a little bit more impact. So it's been awesome to get to know every guy in that room and build relationships that we'll have much longer than this tournament.
Can I put you on the spot for a tournament MVP prediction?
Okay, no.
We've already heard Crosby. Why would he be a good choice?
He's one of the best to ever play the game. He obviously is always showing up in big tournaments, big moments. That's one of the biggest things that makes him is he shows up when it matters. So, but every team has 20 superstars on the team, so I'm not pointing a finger in any direction.
Fred, when you look at what's going on with Boston this year, the coaching change, you're in the wild card battle, you're not signed for next year. Can a tournament like this be kind of like a mental reset, just to completely focus on something else?
Well, you're always just in the moment. That's the biggest thing with these tournaments. You have to be in the moment. You can't worry about anything that's gone on before or after. It's just such a unique experience. You don't think outside of what's happening right here, right now, and then what we're going to do for dinner as a group and our meetings later. Like you're just always in the moment. So you can't let anything take away from that, and you also don't want it to, because it's going to go by very fast, and you want to try to embrace every opportunity to be here right now.
Linus Holmar told us he might give you a couple of whacks on the leg tomorrow. Do you think he'll handle it?
He wouldn't do that. He knows better. He knows I'll come back with a spear or something.
Yeah. Are you gonna be in the crease tomorrow or no?
No, I'm gonna stay away from him. I'll hide out in the corner or something.
A bit of a different question. Doing a piece on the way contracts look.
Who?
I'm doing a piece on how contracts kind of look. It's kind of a bit out there. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
That's cool.
for NHL players, why does the no movement clause matter so much?
Well, I think when guys, there's a lot that goes into that. When guys sign a long-term contract with a team, it's because they want to be there. They don't want to go anywhere else. So they're signing that with that team to with the expectations to stay. It's different than a no trade. No movement clause means you can't be sent down to the minors, you can't be put on waivers. So it just gives you that protection that the contract you're signing, you're actually going to get.
Do you think you guys, as hockey players across the board, would welcome what the NBA does, which is basically if a player gets traded, they get paid, they get like a little extra bonus or something like that? You ever heard of that? The NBA does.
I don't know anything about the NBA. I don't follow basketball, but I'm sure guys would be very happy to take $50 million contracts per year. Yeah, I'm sure no one's going to argue that one.
How cool is the offense part of this tournament?
Yeah, that's very important. You can't look past the opportunity to build relationships off the ice. You got to try to get to know each other very quickly. You only have a couple of days. Even if it was different than the World Cup, we had a few weeks to do that to start. Where we only have a few days here this time around. So it matters. The more you can get to know each other and build relationships, it's going to carry into the room and on the ice and on the bench, and that has an impact on the game. So definitely something that we care about.
Two guys that you know pretty well from before, the Nova Scotia pride. How do you describe that pride of representing that province?
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, when the three guys from a small province, small area. We do take a lot of pride in being from Halifax or Nova Scotia, and being at a tournament like this. It's unique, and we know what an honor it is to play for Team Canada and to do it all together. Obviously, adds a different element. So we're very excited about it, going through this together. Adds a different level of comfortability in the room and at the hotel and on the ice, stuff like that. So we're enjoying it.
Brad, Tim Bennett said that you guys have had some good conversations since the team's come together. Was that something that was important to do in case there was any questions about where things were between you?
I think that, yeah, I don't think either of us thought that there was going to be a problem with each other coming in here. like I said, we're working towards the same goal and trying to accomplish the same thing. And those are the things that you don't worry about when you're here. Bygones are bygones, and when you're out there playing on the ice in the season or playoffs or whatever, you're trying to win for your team, and it's the same thing we're going to be doing out here. And that's one greatest thing about hockey players is that whatever happens on the ice is not personal. We're out there to do a job. We don't take it personally off the ice. So there was never a concern for me. I'm sure same thing for him. And then we've chatted a lot. He's a really good dude, and so no issues there.
Would you blast to Charlie McAvoy if it meant scoring a goal and if you had to? Now here?
Yeah, blast to Charlie. Well, there's no way I'm blasting through him. He's 3 times the size of me, but I'll try.
How many times you break your nose?
Like 4 or 5.
All hockey?
No.
No?
No. Oh yeah.
Just coming here to Montreal, obviously, is sometimes.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. The entire country gonna be rallying around the team and excited about each of the games. And you feel the love, you feel the emotion that they bring every time you put the jersey on and you step foot on that ice. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to feel that as the home team in this building. Not used to it, so it's gonna be different, but definitely looking forward to it. Good. All right.